I hope you're all doing really good. So today is a women to women video, and I know I haven't done one of these in a little while, but I struggle to come up with topics of these. I've been very open about that fact. It is hard to come up with topics for them. And so if you ever have any requests for topics on this, please do let me know. You can let me know on here, you can let me know on Twitter, you can let me know on the DMs on Instagram if you want. I'm always looking for ideas for these topics because I do really struggle to come up with ideas that are good for this type of thing, because it's quite hard. So yeah, I was watching a movie recently. I was watching Money Train on Netflix, which is starring George Clooney. I forgot his name. How did I forget George Clooney's name? Starring George Clooney and starring Julia Roberts, and it kind of got me thinking about how the anti-aging culture and the cosmetic surgery culture within women today, in terms of celebrities and in terms of just normal women as well. And it's something that I think I have touched on a couple of times in different videos about cosmetic surgery and that kind of thing, but I wanted to just go into a little bit more detail and talk about kind of celebrities and cosmetic surgery in particular, and whether or not we think celebrities having cosmetic surgery owe it to the public to be honest, or B, if they are setting a good or a bad example for the public because they have cosmetic surgery. Now, what made me think about this when I was watching this video was because Julia Roberts, who is such a good actress, and you know, her role in Pretty Woman is like one of my all-time favourite movie roles. I think she's so lovely and so beautiful in that. But I watched her in this movie and I hadn't seen her in a movie for a long time, and I was surprised because I thought she looked really normal. She didn't look how, you know how there's like a lot of celebrities who are of a certain age, so say somebody like Jennifer Lopez for example. I don't know exactly how old she is, but she must be like mid to late 40s, I'm guessing, and you know, is so just like beyond perfect in how she looks, just so flawless, not a single line or pore or blemish or anything on her face. She just looks absolutely flawless and beautiful. And you look at her and you think she doesn't look like somebody who's had cosmetic surgery, because let's face it, with a lot of people you can tell when they've had cosmetic surgery. And no, I'm saying surgery and not procedures, because I think we all realise, well actually, do you know what, maybe no, we don't all realise that the amount of cosmetic procedures that are available for celebrities to have, they're available for us to have too if we could afford it, but just low-level cosmetic procedures, so things like filler, things that you can have done at your dermatologist's office, tiny little tweaks that just make everything look better. All of these things are available to celebrities, and I'm under no illusion that most celebrities do take a huge advantage of all of these services that are like offered to them, because why wouldn't you? And they make them look amazing and they make them look natural. But sometimes you have to look at certain people and you think, okay, you look absolutely stunningly flawless and just, you know, like who wouldn't want to look like J-Lo? She's an absolute goddess. But you look at her and you think, okay, do you look like that because you, and I'm not talking like about bodies or anything like that. I'm not talking about, you know, whether the person works out or anything like that. I'm literally talking about like their skin and how young they look. Do you look that way because you're just very genetically gifted, which, you know, some people are, a lot of people are, or have you had little tiny tweaks that are done in such a beautiful way that we can't tell? And that's the thing, you only know what bad cosmetic surgery looks like. You're not meant to be able to tell when somebody's had all these tiny little nips and tucks, because they're meant to look subtle. So it got me thinking, when you look at women like that and you think like, how does she look like that? Has she, you know, made a pact with the devil kind of thing? And then you look at actresses who, people like Julia Roberts, people like Drew Barrymore, people like even Cameron Diaz, actresses like that who are stunningly beautiful but look normal. They look like how, you know, your mum's friend looks. And I say like your mum's friend because obviously these are women that are probably, well, I don't know how old they all are, but I'm guessing in their like mid to late 40s. Again, they must be Drew, I don't know how old Drew Barrymore is, but of that kind of age range, which is nowhere near my age range. But I as a younger woman is still noticing that they look like normal women. They look like somebody that you could know, who are still, you know, like just genetically prettier than most women. I mean, Drew Barrymore is so pretty. She always has been. She has beautiful hair. Like, have you watched the Santa Clarita Diet? Her hair in that. Julia Roberts, just naturally beautiful women. But they also just look like normal women. Like, I think about like my mum's friends, and my mum's older than that. I don't think she'll mind me saying. But she's in her early 50s, and you look around at like friends of hers and stuff, and none of them look like J-Lo. Like, do you know anyone in real life who has aged that flawlessly and that hasn't aged? I mean, like, J-Lo gets better with age. It's crazy. Now, I do think that somebody like J-Lo does take very, very, very good care of themselves and naturally is genetically blessed. I do think that plays a huge factor. And in terms of skin, I think your genes do play a bigger factor than a lot of us actually care to admit. But I was looking at it from a perspective of, it's not something, like I said, that worries me yet, because I'm not at that stage yet where I'm starting to think like, you know, oh, I would like Botox and I look old and that kind of thing. I'm not there. But just the difference in kind of how these women look, and how sometimes you look at the TV and you think, wow, this person looks really old, and then you look at it and you think, they don't look old at all. They look normal. What you mean is they look old for a celebrity, because we hold celebrities to a completely higher standard to the rest of us. You know, people don't want them to look normal. You want them to just look perfect, and they're not perfect, because they're people like you and me. They're people like you and me with a lot of money and a lot of access to good dermatologists and a lot of access to good cosmetic surgeons, but they're still just normal women. And I look at somebody like Jennifer Lopez. I keep giving her an example because I can't think of anyone else who's like... Actually, I'll tell you who's a good example. And again, I don't know how old she is. But Salma Hayek, she's somebody who just looks... She does not look like she's had any bit of like surgery or Botox or anything. But she just looks ridiculously good. Like, there's not a single line anywhere on her face. Now, one could argue that that is a combination of lifestyle choices, of good diet, of not smoking, of not drinking. I know Jennifer Lopez is very vocal about the fact that she's never really drank, never really smoked, which I do think are two things that are really horrendous on the skin. But is it a combination of all of that and that they're just naturally blessed? Or certain kinds of skin types, skin tones even, age better? So, like, you know how oily skin is theoretically meant to age a little bit better. Is it that? Maybe it is that. But do celebrities owe a responsibility to be honest? And my answer to that is, I don't think they owe anyone anything. But I think it would be very nice for celebrities to just come forward and to just be like, yeah, I had this done, I had that done. It looks nice, right? Just so you would know and you won't have to compare yourself to that. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, most women go around comparing themselves to celebrities, because I know that most of us know better and we don't. But there is something really refreshing and nice when I was watching, say, like the Santa Clarita Diet, and I thought, Drew Barrymore just looks normal. She doesn't look like this ridiculously flawless version. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm somebody who finds that beautiful. I also think that people like Kim Kardashian are beautiful. I know you're all going to kill me in the comments. I'm going to get death threats and I'm going to be told that I'm a stupid, like shallow, stupid whore, because that's what people usually tell me when I ever mention the word Kardashian, because people are a bit crazy. But I get the appeal in that kind of like flawless look. I get that too, but I also understand that that kind of look comes at a price, and I think it's very obvious. And I remember seeing I think it was like an interview with Sally Hughes where she was talking about Madonna, and she said that one of the things she likes about Madonna is that you realise when you look at her that she doesn't look that way by accident, and you realise that the efforts that she puts into looking the way she does are joyless. And I thought that was really interesting, because I thought, yeah, you do know that, you realise that when you look at these women, but does it always kind of sink in? And does it mean that you don't give yourself a hard time about not looking like that? And I mean, I think also there is definitely like an age point when it comes with actresses where they start to be told that they look good for their age, and that it's things like that, and it just really sucks, because no one does that to male actors, do they? But I think it's kind of like from 40 plus is when that kind of comes in, and it's just crap. Like, it has nothing to do with your acting abilities. Like, you can still be the best or the worst actress ever, and it's irrelevant. And there's so many actresses who don't give in to the pressure at all, and who totally just look totally like, you know, they've just aged naturally, and that's it. People like Jodie Foster, people like Frances, is it McDormand from 3 Billboards? I think that's what she's called. They must be held under so much pressure as well to look a certain way, and I'm sure it costs them roles and all sorts of things like that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with having surgery if you want to have it, if it makes you feel better, if a little bit of Botox makes you feel better. Totally go ahead and go for it. You know, maybe in 10 years time, or do you know what, maybe in 5 years time even, I might want a little bit, and I might have some, and if I like it I might keep having it, like in a natural way, as long as I don't look really weird. I don't see the problem in it. But I do think there is a problem when there's a generation of celebrities, and I'm not going to name any names because it's unkind, who are very, very young and have extensive cosmetic procedures, because you can't keep up with that forever, and you add a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, and then it doesn't look right, and it does look unnatural, and it looks weird. And part of me thinks like, well, who are you to judge that they look weird? I'm not judging in a sense of like, why have they done that, because you're totally entitled to look however you want to look, it's none of my business. But I think that it probably stems from a level of self-esteem, because I think like, if you're 19, do you really need like cheek fillers and things like that? Really? I'd like to think not. But yeah, I thought this was a really, really interesting topic to chat about. I think that's everything. We're at 12 minutes now, so I'm going to go. But I would love to hear your opinions on this. If anything I've said in this video has been taken in a way of like offensive, and if like saying that someone is a certain age or that is older or anything like that has been taken that way, I'm truly sorry. I did not mean to offend anybody. You know this about me. I never mean to offend anybody. I'm so careful with this kind of thing, because I really care about people's feelings. So, you know, I'm not being ageist, I'm not being any of these things. It's things that I do genuinely think about, and even though it's not a concern in my life right now, it's something that I do think about in terms of the future, and I like to see women represented in all manners, to give us all different choices of things that we can kind of look up to and find inspiring. So yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye, and let me know topics that you want for future videos as well.